Hello students, welcome to the science online class. In this class, we are going to learn food and health. How this food is very important for us and how do we get energy generally from food. When we take food, we get energy from the food. Is only food enough to stay healthy? No. To stay healthy, we need to focus on some other factors. What are they? As I said, the first one is balanced diet. We have to take balanced diet. What is this balanced diet? The diet which contains all nutrients. We call that as balanced diet. And second one, regular exercise is. So, we have to do exercise regularly. If you don't do exercise regularly, then what happens? Your posture will not be look proper way. Okay? And next, enough rest. So, we have to take rest properly, 7 or 8 hours per day. So, if we don't take enough rest, then we cannot work properly. And not only that, protection from diseases. So, not only these three factors, we have to protect ourselves from the diseases by taking preventive measures. So, now we will discuss all these 4 topics one by one. So, let us get started with the balanced diet. So, what is this balanced diet? As I already said that balanced diet is nothing but a diet which contains all the nutrients. What are nutrients? For example, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, roughages. Roughages are also called as dietary fibers. So, all these are nutrients. So, when we take food, we get nutrients from this food and we get energy from this food. If we don't take proper food, then what happens? We don't get nutrients. If we don't get nutrients, what happens? We don't get energy to do work. We cannot protect ourselves from the diseases. We cannot work properly in our day-to-day works. So, all this happens. So, that is why eating food and healthy food is very important. And now in this class, we will see some important nutrients. The first one, carbohydrates. What are they? Carbohydrates. What are these carbohydrates? What are the sources of carbohydrates? And what is the use of these carbohydrates to our body? Especially when we take carbohydrates fulfilled food items, then we get energy from these carbohydrates. Generally, to do work we need energy. So, we get energy from these carbohydrates. And what are the sources of carbohydrates? For example, potato, rice, cereals, sugar, sweet potato, and there are so many. For example, cereals, wheat, all these are examples of sources of carbohydrates. Okay? And not only carbohydrates, there are other important nutrients also, just like similar to carbohydrates. What are they? Fats. What is the use of fats? Where we can get these fats? Here, carbohydrates and fats, they function similarly. What are those functions? Fats also, it releases energy in our body. It releases energy. And when you compare with the carbohydrates, fat releases more energy than carbohydrates. And not only that, these fats, they also helpful to regulate our body temperature. What is the normal body temperature? What is that? 37 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit. The normal human body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius, 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit. To regulate our body temperature, these fats helps. So, here we can understand two functions, two main functions of fats. And what are the sources of fats? For example, ghee, oils, butter. Yes, from these we get fats. And not only these carbohydrates and fats, there are other nutrients also important. What are they? Proteins. How these proteins are very, very important? The reason is that these proteins, especially for children like you, these are very essential. The reason is that these proteins, they help to grow properly, and not only that, to fight against some microbes also, it gives immunity power. And not only from the proteins, we get immunity power from vitamins also. What are they? For example, vitamin A, B, C, D, there are so many vitamins. Yes, especially vitamin C helps us to fight against certain diseases also. Okay. And as I said that proteins, they helpful to grow and they helpful to fight against diseases. Okay. What are the sources of proteins? What are they? For example, groundnuts, meat, milk, egg. So, all these are examples, are sources of proteins. So, that is why you have to take regularly a glass of milk, a boiled egg. So, when we take these regularly, then we can get all these nutrients from that, then we can grow properly and we can be healthy. And as I said, vitamins also, vitamins. What is the importance of vitamins? We do get vitamins especially from fresh fruits and vegetables. So, when we take the fresh fruits, for example, if you take citrus fruits, then we will get vitamin C. Okay? And if you take the carrot, leafy vegetables, then we will get vitamin A. From the cereals and unpolished rice, we get vitamin B. And vitamin D, where we can get? Especially vitamin D is present in our body, but when it becomes active, if sunlight falls on our body, then it converts into vitamin D. Actually, that our skin produces vitamin D when it exposed to sunlight. So, vitamin D also will get, and not only these, there are other nutrients also. What are they? For example, roughages. How these roughages are helpful to us? We get these roughages from the fresh fruits and vegetables also, especially like mango, banana and sweet potato. You can see fiber like structures in these fruits and vegetables. So, those fibers, they are nothing but these roughages. These are also called as dietary fibers, and these roughages, they prevent constipation. What is this constipation? Constipation, it is a problem. What is that? Generally, what do we do early in the morning? We attend nature call. So, if we do not attend nature call, what will happen? We feel very uncomfortable in our stomach. So, when we take roughages in a proper amount, then we can get rid of from this constipation problem. So, that is why not only these, all nutrients, they are very, very important. What are other nutrients? For example, water. Water is also very, very essential nutrient. Why it is very essential to our body? The reason is that even our body is also composed to 70% of water. How much? 70% of water is present in our body. and doctors also suggest that at least 8 to 10 glasses of water should take per day. 8 to 10 glasses. What are the uses of this water? First of all, it regulates our body temperature and it mixes in the blood and it helps to transport nutrients, oxygen to every cell. So, there are so many uses of this water. So, if you do not take proper amount of water daily, it causes so many diseases definitely. So, remember, so daily at least 8 to 10 glasses of water should be taken. So, what are the nutrients that we have seen here? Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, roughages and water, and then after minerals. Minerals also nutrients, but we take minerals in less quantity. Not only minerals, vitamins also. Vitamins and minerals, these are called as micronutrients because we need less in quantity. And carbohydrates, proteins, fats, these three are called as macronutrients. Why do they call as macronutrients? We need in huge amount. We need regularly carbohydrates to get energy. We need proteins to stay healthy, especially for children to grow properly. Yes, and we need fats when we don't have these carbohydrates or when we don't take these carbohydrates. These fats, they replenish the energy. Okay. So, in this way all nutrients are very important, and the food which consists of all these we call it as a balanced diet. And what are minerals that are very important to us? Tell me. For example, iodine. Do we take iodine regularly? Yes. You may have heard iodized salt. What is that? Iodized salt. So, when we take iodine mineral in a proper amount, then we can get rid of from the goiter disease. Its goiter disease is nothing but a gland which swells in our neck here, that is due to deficiency of iodine, and this iodine rich in seafood, remember. Okay. So, minerals also very important, and in this class we will definitely see lack of vitamins and lack of minerals in our body. What are the diseases that cause? We will learn in detail, but here we took a quick points of all these nutrients. Okay. So, what are the nutrients that are important, very important to our body? Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, roughages, minerals and water. After that, as I said, the combination of all these nutrients we call it as a balanced diet. And do you know what is complete food? Do you know the difference between the complete food and balanced diet? As I said, we need especially macronutrients regularly, okay, and we take micronutrients also regularly, but in less quantity. A food which consists of these macronutrients and micronutrients is called as complete food. So, what is the difference between complete food and balanced diet? For example, if you take an egg consists of most of the nutrients. It covers most of the macronutrients because in egg carbohydrates are present, proteins are present, fats, most of the vitamins also present in egg. So, that is why egg, it is a complete food. Just by taking an egg every day, we can have a great or good healthy food. So, that is why a food which consists of most of the nutrients, we call it as a complete food. I already told you what is balanced diet. For example, if you went to any function, there are so many different varieties have been there. Then for example, meat, ice cream, biryani, yes. So, in this way the combination of all food items they can be as a balanced diet. Okay? If the combination of all nutrients, for example, carbohydrates we get from rice, proteins we get from meat, and fats we get from milk, butter, ghee, yes, and vitamins we get from the fruits, and roughages, as I said, they also present in the fruits. The combination of all these with different food items, it is a balanced diet. Now let us see the second factor that affects our health, that has a huge impact on our health. What is that? Regular exercise. This regular exercise keeps us fit to do work, any work instantly, to make us active every time. If we do not do regularly exercise, what happens? We may not active in the work. Yes, I may not teach in this way, you may not listen like that. Yes, so that is why we have to do exercise regularly. With that, the blood circulates to every cell, and heart, lungs, they also work properly. We can breathe properly, our blood circulatory system, respiratory system. So, while we are doing exercise, they work fast. Yes, all these systems, they work properly. So, with that we can get good health. So, that is why we have to do exercise regularly. And not only that, observe the persons who do exercise regularly, their posture looks great. And at the same time, observe the another person who do not exercise regularly, they look flabby, their muscles look flabby, and they may thin. Yes. So, remember, we have to do the exercise regularly, and then after, enough rest. Do you take regularly enough rest? Yes. But nowadays we are facing the major issue. What is that major issue? Smartphones. We are using smartphones for excessively. So, with that, what is happening? Before going to the bed, at least 1 hour before going to the bed, we should keep all the electrical appliances away, just like computer, tablets, mobiles, TV, whatever it is, we should turn off everything before at least 1 hour before going to the bed. Why? Because if you watch that TV or whatever the mobile, then what happens? It affects your eyes. You may not get good sleep. And not only that, generally when we take rest, when we go to bed early, what happens? Our cells already they worked since morning. So, when you take rest earlier, they get active during the night and they prepare themselves to work next day. So, for that we have to take enough rest, at least 7 to 8 hours for adults, and for children at least 10 hours a day. So, remember, depending on the age we take rest. So, next, protection from diseases. What is that? Protection from diseases. Oh my God, at present we are facing the very big issue. What is that? COVID-19, Corona, virus name is Corona. Yes? COVID-19. So, as I said that we need to protect ourselves from the microbes. Which causes these diseases? Microbes. What are those microbes? Bacteria, viruses, protozoa, fungi. These are causes main, remember. Okay. And these diseases also can be classified as communicable diseases and non-communicable diseases. Okay, we will see here. First, what are these classification? What is communicable disease? What is non-communicable disease? Communicable disease means it can be spread from one person to another person, just like COVID-19. This COVID-19 is a communicable disease. It spreads from one person to another person easily through direct contact. Okay? Then what is non-communicable disease? Very simple, opposite to communicable. The disease which cannot be spread from one person to another person, we call it as a non-communicable disease. The microbes which causes disease are called as germs. Okay? And these microbes are very small, we cannot see with our naked eyes. We use microscope to see these microbes, and especially viruses are very small when you compare with the even other microbes. We use electronic microscope to examine these microbes. So, in this class we have seen so much. Okay? What are they? Balanced diet, complete food, why we have to do exercise regularly, and what is the importance of rest in our life, and we will see protection from diseases in our next class. Okay? So, till then, bye, thank you.